Turn my camera off. I'm here, but my place is a disaster.
Sounds good. Good afternoon, everybody. Luis Morales here, health fitness specialist with Exos at Autodesk. It's 2:30 p.m. on a Thursday, time for the last live stretch break offering of the week. Before we get started, if there's anything you guys feel needs a little bit extra love or a little bit extra stretching, go ahead and drop it in the chat. Always open for suggestions and input for the routine here this afternoon. I'll give you guys a second to do that. All we're really gonna need here, guys, is some space today. Definitely wanna get some couch stretch in. So if you have a couch or a chair or a footstool, even beds tend to work. We'll be using that as well as probably a pillow or something soft to pad the knee up on the ground. I'm not seeing anything in the chat right now, so we can go ahead and get started with the routine here. So like I said, I wanted to start out with some couch stretch. I've been doing a lot of squats this week. There were a good amount of squats in the workout earlier with exercise with Exo. So what we want to do is, be able to find a spot where we can kind of pin our foot or hang our foot up on it and have one knee down on the ground, kind of in a half kneeling position like this. Now, this does work if you're trying to do it with a wall. It's going to be really, really intense, especially on a hard wall. So be careful if you're trying that at home. I got my foot hooked onto the couch here, knee is on the ground. What we want to do in this position is first just check in with that glute. Usually giving the glute a nice hard squeeze is going to give us some nice medium tension in the front of the leg and the front of the hip. If you're not feeling any tension, if you're really loose here, we can kind of push the hips forward a little bit. But what we want to do is just make sure the pelvis is tilted back. We're pretty much in neutral here, squeezing that glute and getting some nice tension here in the front of the hips. So now we'll suck the belly button in towards the spine and just take a few breaths. Lots of squats in that workout earlier, so it's good to, especially because we find ourselves sitting a lot, to stretch out both some quad muscle and some hip flexors at the same time with this one. One more breath here, guys. All right, well done, you guys. You can let go of that glute, take some tension off the hip. Now we're gonna switch over to the other side. So whichever way is most comfortable for you guys to switch. All right, so got the opposite foot hooked up here, knee is on the ground. Gonna go ahead and try and tilt the pelvis back, squeeze the glute super, super hard. This might already be enough tension for you, so hang out if it is. We're just trying to breathe here and have a medium amount. If you're feeling real loose, real non-restricted today, you can go ahead and try and push those hips forward a little bit. But for the most part, we're pretty upright in this one. Just keeping that glute squeeze. Let's pull the belly button in, and now we can breathe. You may be noticing one side's maybe a little bit tighter than the other. That's okay. Just happens the way, that just happens to be the way that it is, because we are human beings. All right, guys, keep that glute squeeze. You got one more big breath. Well done. All right, let's let go of the tension there in the glute. We can kind of unlock the hip there. Come out of that position. All right, next up, you guys, we want to come down to the ground here. We're going to come down to the ground and be in everybody's favorite shin box position. I say that sarcastically, but this has really become one of my favorite things to do. Just takes a lot of time to get good at. All right, you guys, so I'm starting here with my left leg in front, ankle and knee are on the ground, right leg out to the side, ankle and knee in contact with the ground. So whatever leg you have out in front, let's take that same side hand and plant it right by our sides here, leaving a little bit of a gap in between the hand and the body. From here, we're gonna do a little bit of rotation, but as we move, we wanna make sure that those knees and ankles here in our lower half stay put. So what we're gonna do is twist. We're gonna reach through this gap here. Let's go ahead and inhale to prepare. And then as we exhale, we'll reach, turning our upper body and the head, the neck, to look behind us. reaching as far as we can, and then we'll recoil on out of it. Let's do 2 more here on this side. Inhale to prepare, and then we exhale, reach. If it's comfortable, we're trying to reach a little bit further than we did the first time. Noticing what's tight, where we're restricted. Last one here on this side. Big twist, big reach. Turn that head all the way around. And then we can recoil out of it. Well done, you guys, well done. Okay, let's switch over to the other side. Take a moment, whatever leg that you had in front, it's now out to the side. Knees and ankles planted on the ground here. We're gonna go ahead and plant that front side hand off to the side here. Once we get all settled, knees and ankles are glued to the ground. Let's go through the same thing. We're gonna inhale to prepare. Exhale, twist to reach through the gap. Turn the head and neck. And then we come back to the starting position. Good job. 2 more. Big twist. Good job, you guys. Good job. All right, 1 more on this side. Well done, you guys. Well done. Let's recoil out of it. All right, next up, we are going to stay on the ground here, but we're going to come out of the shin box position. So take a moment, untangle those legs. We're going to come into hands and knees. And from here, we got the hands planted on the shoulders. The knees can be right under the hips or a little bit wider, depending on your preference. What we're going to do here, guys, is some quadruped rocking. So it's important that we keep kind of the upper body in a nice straight line. So we'll use those tummy muscles, keep the spine nice and straight. Let's rock those hips back towards the heels, almost kind of mimicking our squat pattern a little bit, and then we'll squeeze the glutes and come back forward. Just going for a few here, nice and relaxing, nothing crazy. We're breathing as we go, kind of cooling it down here in the second half of the day. Pause for a moment, make sure you're getting that real glute squeeze as we come back forward. All right, guys, wherever you're at, let's do 1 more. Here we go. Rocking it back. Glute squeeze, and we're back forward. Okay. All right, guys. So next up, we're going to stay in this same position, or excuse me, we're going to start in the same position. No need to move around. We're going to get a nice side stretch in with some child's pose. So wherever we're at, let's go ahead and walk those hands way out to the left. From here, we'll go ahead and sink those hips back towards the heels. They're going to stay there this time, and we can pull our hands into a position where they're resting, we're comfortable, but that right side is really opened up here. So if you're comfortable, you can kind of put your face, chin, or cheek on the ground, and then we're just breathing into that outstretched right side, trying to expand the rib cage as much as we can. Try and make those exhales nice and long. Let's do 1 more breath here. Good. After that last exhale, we can go ahead and begin to rise a little bit, put some more weight into those hands. Now let's even it out. Let's walk it all the way over to the opposite side, keeping those knees in the same place. All right, same deal here. Let's move those hips back towards the heels. We'll open up that left side, move the hands into a position where they're comfortable, they're resting, but that left side is nice and open. Let's start to breathe into that outstretched left side. Well done, you guys. Well done. Long exhales. Let's do one more wherever you're at. Nicely done. Now we can begin to rise a little bit. We'll put some more weight into those hands. Let's walk those hands into the middle and we'll end with just a straight on child's pose. So last time we're going to sink those hips way back towards the heels. The hands are up overhead, just resting. Hopefully we're still feeling some stretch throughout the body here. Let's breathe another 3 breaths and then we'll come out of it. Still letting that torso expand as much as possible, filling the stomach, the low back with as much air as you can. Letting it out nice and slow. Last breath. Well done, everybody. All right, slowly. You can stay in that position if you'd like, or you can rise up out of it. You can bring those knees a little bit more under the hips. All right, I hope everyone is feeling a little bit better, a little more stretched out, a little bit more relaxed as we get into the latter half of the day. So don't forget, the last live offering for a class today is Abs and Core and Mobility with Brittany, and that's at 4:30 p.m. Pacific. Don't forget, we do have a super important blood drive happening in the month of June. However, signups are going down right now. So visit our SharePoint site for more on that. And we also have Bike to Wherever Day, and that is May 21st. All about sustainability, all about saving the world, and kind of doing what we miss, which is biking to work sometimes. So hope everyone will participate with that. Take care. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, Luis.
Thank you.
See you guys.